Good morning. We would like to welcome you in the second week of KnowTalks. First, I would like to note to you some organization matters regarding the interpretation. If you would like, the session will be interpreted to Arabic language. So if you would like to hear English language, please press the icon for interpretation at the bottom of the screen and choose French to hear Arabic language. Please press English to hear us in English, or leave it original. You will hear it in Arabic language. Another thing, from now on, you can send us your questions in the Q&A corner. So we talked about the sector before education in the previous week during the talks. Today, in this session, we will talk about ICT sector, which is very important for the international knowledge indicator that is issued internationally in partnership with the UNDP and Muhammad bin Rashid Al Maktoum for Organization for Knowledge. And we are honored today to have Professor Yousry El-Gamal, former Minister of Education in Egypt, and the chairman of Board of Trustees in Egypt, Japanese University of Science and Technology. Hi, Professor. Hi, Ms. Stephanie. Please allow us first, before we go deep in ICT sector, to remind people about the international knowledge index, which is divided to six sectors: before education, university, vocational and institute, higher education, ICT sector, research and development and innovation, and also economical sector. Each sector of these is divided or subdivided to other sub areas and also to some variables. In 2019, it covered 136 countries, and the number of variables reached 133 variables. So now we can go deep in the ICT sector with Dr. Yousry to see how it was structured. So, Dr. Yousry, the floor is yours now. Can you see my presentation? Not yet. Can you see my presentation now? Unfortunately, not yet. Have you pressed share screen icon from the bottom? Share screen. from the bottom, the green color icon. Now we should see it now. Can you see it? Yes, but we can see your screen, but we can see your presentation. Okay, we can see it now. Good morning, everybody, for all our attendees. I'm very pleased today to speak about one indicator and element of knowledge indicator, which is ICT. When we think about knowledge, straight away, we think straight away of ICT, internet, the different applications, the things that we are living currently, and that give us sources for knowledge, regardless of the venue or location. So it's very important to have these elements in the international knowledge indicator. First, I will speak about the importance of this sector, and after that, I will talk about its importance and the approach to select within this index. After that, I will talk about the organizational structure, and then I will talk about the first top 10 for the countries who achieved the highest result within this index. Definitely, ICT currently is playing a vital role in any development within any country. So we can't imagine any development without ICT because it's now intervened in all the human activities. We can't see any activity on this globe without ICT not involving in it, especially talking about mobiles or communication. So it's important to talk about it and also to pay attention, especially after the development that have been developed recently. We have seen now mobiles, internet, and the high speed that is available in the internet and the development of these applications. So now we can see application for each activity and people depend on it. So the big development within this technology happened beyond any expectation. And now it's become cheaper and cheaper. Even mobiles, it came more capable. And smartphones now it's spread all over the world within cheap prices and affordable. And it became inevitable. So it became now a model that it can be implemented in economy and social aspect. We started to see some companies, for example, for renting car, they are renting cars without cars, but they have got data systems. They deal with all cars available in the market without owning these cars. And other cars, they can now renting hotels without having hotels, but they are using data systems to enable the empty rooms to be rented and used from any user anywhere in this globe. So we have seen new models of economy in the society, and now we are basic on the availability of this ICT technology. And it happened a big change, big jump in production and services. Now we based on it. We focus on it in education, in work, in communication between each other, social communication, and also providing services. For example, the governmental services or company services. All these services now is turned to digital form. So we are able now to use it for the users anywhere in this planet with one device, either a computer, or laptop, or even a smartphone. He will manage to benefit from all these services without moving from his own place. So it became very important in our life and it's increasing. Digital transformation now is a target for all governments all over the world to, to transform their services into the digital form. So to be provided to any person in any time, in any place, available 24 hours. Regarding research and development, it also became very important. And we can't imagine any research and innovation without using the ICT technology or even searching in the database available on the internet or in different websites available on the World Wide Web. And this is very important for any development and innovation globally. Today, the production is not only the normal traditional product. Now we are talking about producing knowledge. This is the highest value. So the highest value now is not in the traditional production, but now in the high value production. And here, where there is intense knowledge, is related to the ICT technology. And also, we find companies that are achieving the highest income globally. They are the companies who are dealing with ICT technology. And we are seeing now different examples like Microsoft, Oracle, or even Amazon. All these companies, their income and their selling values going beyond the budget of countries, and they are depending on the intense knowledge production and how these advanced technologies available. So these advanced technology, especially the ICT technology, is very active process and essential for all countries around the world. And the World Wide Web and the internet now is spread all over, especially now after smartphones, which is also make the internet available for everybody. And it presented unprecedented opportunities to spread knowledge and connect it and spread it all over to gain the information that you need from the internet, laptop, or even the smartphone. You have it in your pocket without moving to any other place. You can get all the information you need: geographical information, market information, work information, and you can deal with it in a global professional way. So the World Wide Web and expanding it and the ease of dealing with it that enable us to gather knowledge, connecting it and spread it or publish it all over. The digitalization trend, these countries who manage to reach to digitalization in a higher process or level that enable more space for digitalization in their services. And these countries achieved more advanced level in their economical social levels, and they improved the standard of working and standard of living in their countries, which wasn't available without these technologies. So digital transformation now is targeted for all governments of the world. And now there is a race and competition to reach to the highest digitalization level. And, and we have seen an increase in applications. For example, on your mobile, you can see, especially your smartphone, you can see more and more applications every day. These applications, they provide services. For that, businessmen, they exploit these technologies to use these services on their smartphones, and also the the price now is getting cheaper and cheaper in the internet. For that, the added value now is increased, and businessmen succeeded in making new applications to serve the customers and serve the users all over the world. So, for the different conferences, they used to recommend for decision makers to build the infrastructure for digitalization. It's very important to have the strong infrastructure to enable the government and the companies and even the businessmen users to make use of these services or strong services. They are available all over the world and make it provided for all customers. So now there's a new issue. To what limit? What extent these services are provided? What is the strength of ICT technology in the country? How can we say this country has got good services in ICT and other countries they have lower quality? We need to have numbers and we need to have indicators or index. So it's very important to have an indicator or index which give us a picture or realistic picture about the situation in this country, how it's spread, how it's available. So it's very important to have this indicator, and this is the target we worked at in our global knowledge indicator on index to measure how this quality of services available in each country. So this indicator should be for all governments who are saying that we want them to know the strengths and weaknesses and how to make a big increase in ICT and technology. What is more important, this technology is now making impact on all other sectors. So when we speak about knowledge, we speak about education, basic education, university education, or even technical education, innovation, creativity, and economy. These main elements that Stephanie mentioned at the introduction that shape the knowledge. So the ICT indicator make impact on all these sectors. You can't imagine real education without ICT, or even our scientific research or development without ICT indicator, which support the ICT in the use of the community. Especially ICT now is impacted by the other knowledge elements. If there is good education, they will have more capable persons, and also they will be able to participate actively in the ICT system in the country. If there is research and development and innovation, there will be more patents and there will be more innovations that can be added in the ICT system in the country. When there is also economical based knowledge based economy, there will be more production for the elements like softwares or even hardware or even the network which constitute these knowledge or ICT technology. So it have impact on all the other sectors, and also it mutually impact with them. So there's mutual influence in this, which give us an indicator about this value. So now we agreed there should be an indicator or index. How we reach to select this indicator, or there should be an approach. And this approach, there's different researches and many researches that's happened all over the world for the international organization to measure the performance of the knowledge, like the telecommunication unions or even UNDP. In addition to the World Bank, that issue international reports about the status of knowledge around all over the world. So it's very important to study the results of these studies for these organizations in order to reach to the shape of the international global index. And also, we have got the Arabic indicator in 2015-16 and included another element of ICT. And we should have consultation from experts in the ITU, which is the highest organization that issue data and reports regarding networks and all over the world. And one of their experts should have been participated in developing this sector. We reached a conclusion that the index should have a structure that consisted of input and output. So the input is what the country provide,
and the country provide many services, and in order to, and all the country unlimited services they produce and they provide. And they should have a very strong and a powerful use and services. And how can we evaluate the use of these devices and how to support and to enhance those companies in order to have the best quality of services, and how much they are going to use this digital system. It's very necessary for both sides in order to have the best quality of the productions, and how to evaluate also the individual use of this digital system, and how could they adapt with the international changes, and about the IT, the information technology, the income represent 30%, and the outcome represents 20 of participation. The income 15% that represent the infrastructure, and individual use 15%, and the sector, the competition of sectors represents 15%. Then the outcomes, how much the participation, which represents 20%, and how much the individual use, and the entities, the government, the official entities, and also the growth or developmental impact. If we have a look at the infrastructure, that contains three elements, three components, and how much the state provide such services, and this is achieve a very high and good quality of economics and with the network, and how much those networkings are available. And it has to cover the whole countries, the whole zones in the country, the whole areas in the country, and even in the desert, in the remote areas, how much the services reach to the whole, to each spot on the land of the country. So, and then the speed also, and this is also measured as the speed of this networking, how it reached to the individual and to the official entities, and how to depends on that. We have to depends and rely on the best quality of networking. We have to have a very excellent networking in order to cover all services, in order to have excellent services. And the security use and how to get a link with the people on the ground, how to use them nicely in a benefits way, how to use the networking and how to instill this kind of technology in order to have a good quality of production. Then, and another part, those services, it might be available, but it's very costly and very high expensive in order to reach those services. And this links with the competition between the sectors and the establishments. So how could we have good services with the smartphones, with the internet, and how could we instill and how can we get the benefits from the competitions between the sectors? And every country is having its own knowledge index, and how much the smartphone and the networking. Actually, when we have more works, more companies, then the competition will be more productive and more the participants of each company, of each sector will increase, referring to the best productions and the best services of each sector. And how to, and the networking, how to instill the best and the honest competition between the sectors and the companies. And also more opportunities, we'll have more opportunities to solve the problems and how to make and to solve the problems in order to get powerful networking for the individual and the entities work. And those three components and three elements, each component it's having its own impact. Then we'll come once again to the outputs. The first things, the participations, the subscriptions, how we subscribe, how participate, how can we subscribe. Then about the smartphone, each 100 persons, how much the service, how the other services, how the services, what type of services they receive. Then even if they use a smartphone or laptops or computer. So here we have to estimate, we have to evaluate the use or the services of the network coming. Then the individual use here, all the people on the country who are living in the country, they have the rights to use the internet. That means they use whatever the government provide technological services, and how much they also communication, the social communication also is existed at the moment, and how many individuals and all the people are involved to the social communication, and how they announce, how they promote their work through those social communication after that, and how much the individual use the capacity of those companies, and how much they buy, how much gigabyte or megabyte they buy from such companies. Then the government use, the government work, and how much they use the networking and the ideological services. Do they use it? And they have to be reassured. They have to be assured that every individual in the country is using this ideological aids, and also how to use the smartphone and the ideological approach, change it to digital system, and the government, how they change from the traditional use to the digital use of their performance, and how to reach all the spots, all the zones in the country. They have to be reassured that the ideological approach and the ideological aids are reaching and spread on all the lands. And when we talk about there are some programs, software programs are using here, and we might import some, and we get those softwares from big companies, and how much those programs or software are having an influence and impact on the earth here, on the ground, and how we use them, and how to be adopted with those programs. And we have sometimes some programs, they have some negative upcoming or negative results that we have to take care about it, and to have the positive impact from these programs. Then we have to talk about production, the knowledge of productions. How do we have, and how to be very well adapted to the conflict of the ideological sector, how to be after that, and how the communication approach and the communication knowledge infect our behavior, and how they infect, and how to get the benefits from these digital system, and then when we use them, when we train our people in order to use those programs, they will have a very highly production. They will have high productions and they will be well adapted to the new approach. Then also we have to be very careful about the social impact on our individuals here in order not to be away from our culture. Then all the index has to be collected, all the indexes have to be collected. How to? And each country is having its own knowledge indexes, like, and the best countries who achieved the highly index of the knowledge of technology and communication. Singapore 48.2, Luxembourg 82.8, United States 82.7, UK, Holland 81.5, the 79.2, Germany, and 81.1. And if we look at about the Emirates, and Emirates got 15 of the knowledge, and it was great. And the Emirates is occupying the 15th position of the international community, and provide, and the hopefully that all entities in the Emirates will change to the digital system. And this is a briefing about the technology, the knowledge on the communication and the technology, information technology. Thank you very much for your presentation, and we hope that the Arab country, the Arab zone will lead, and the Emirates will occupy also the best international position. So the knowledge, information knowledge, then how to and there will be a conference, a press conference somewhere before we move to the question and discussion. And I just want to ask you about communication. And the communication, I have a question here. It talks about what are the impact of pandemic, during the pandemic, COVID-19, do you think that we have a dangerous impact on the information technology, for example? Do you think, are we affected in this period, especially? Thank you very much for this question. This is a very important question, because we are involved, we are living in the same period of pandemic, COVID-19, and how to face challenges. And I think most of the countries have been blocked down, and all the universities, schools have been blocked and locked. So this is a very critical period. So we should learn that. We should also learn about some medical aids and the medical approach. We should also move to a new medical approach. We have to move to virtual programs, to learn about virtual program, and how to learn about learning distance learning, and we have to be very well involved to digital system. All those technical programs that impose us to work and to cooperate as colleagues at work, and closing the universities or educational establishments, UNESCO that mentioned 1,008,000,000 that have been affected badly by closing the universities and the schools. And educational services are very important for each society, and distance learning is also suddenly we have surprise when we come to learn how to use these technological aids, how to connect the teachers with the students by technological aids. It was also new, and also we have to, and it was very difficult for the student to get his absolute or sufficient mark. And I think the supported situation we have to enhance, to support, in order to get our individuals and our system to be appropriate use. About health, there are many applications for the health, for the communication and the information technology, and also we have developed many devices in order to serve in a good way to protect the people from pandemic COVID-19, and by the medical aspect. Now the medical applications, how to classify the diseases. Now China used they use the smartphone in order to diagnose the disease, and how to measure their temperature, and also by the smartphone has been used in China in a good way, and how to deal with to have a good environment in order to protect myself and from the pandemic COVID-19, and how the Chinese use this smartphone in order to serve, in order to create appropriate environments for the patients, in order not to have more effective results. And the planes, the ships have been also stopped, the airlines also, the sea ships, and all stopped then, and all services, and the shipping also have been stopped, and this has a very bad impact on the community, the international communities. So, and the digital also for financial operation has been also stopped. And the three dimensions technology or approach also interfered the system, and also how they use the three dimensions in order to enhance the medical sector, and the films and the games on the internet, and also played a very vital role in order to, for the individuals, for the people in order to protect themselves, in order to have a very good medical awareness, and how also from the and also, yes, provide many medical aids in order to for the patients, in order to have better situation, to have better awareness, in order to eradicate the COVID-19 as well, and also how also provide some medical equipments, and the software and the programs also proved its vital role in order to serve, in order to have a very good medical services to protect and to make the people in safe position. And also the smartphones and the smart devices also recognize how the individual is feeling, whether it's having a high temperature or it's having any critical health situation or health. So, and how to remove those devices and the modern devices that serve and that involved to the protections of people, to protect them from pandemic. So here, all the components, all the elements have been used in a good way and serve the people, and also all communication and the information technology all recorded a very vital, a massive role to protect and to serve and to protect the people from the disease that we are having now. And those expectations, and when we use, and we having the information technology during the pandemic COVID-19. So actually, when we reach to the best quality of education, then we can face many problems in the future. We should have future prospects, and we should deal with any kind of developmental disease or something like that. We should be very strong in order to defy and to face the challenges by the information technology, because they are having a vital role in our life. There are many works, then there's, and I think that many people also leave their work, they start working from homes. So they achieved a very successful from their homes, and this also have a very good impact, and how to deal with sailing and with buying with sailing, and they could ask for some items from the shops in order to get, and those programs have played a very vital role especially in this time, in unprecedented time, in order to serve and have a very high quality of work, and also provide a very distinguished efforts. And this sector, whatever happened, I think the future, the international community will change to the better situation. Thank you very much, Doctor. Actually, Actually, we have to, after 10 minutes, we are going to have to pick up some questions. Charlie, please, if you read the question, please here. There's a question here. How can the decision maker interfere and make good information technology? How do they interfere? How the decision maker or the government have an impact? Actually, it's actually the missing points here. And the index must have a very good quality of knowledge. And the index must also link to the best quality of a production and how to achieve higher education, higher services. And the index must also, how much they provide, how much service, good quality of services they provide. And thank you, Doctor. Another question. And how the propaganda or how could the media also have a very sometimes the media is having a good impact on the people, but some people who are promoting lies and promoting bad propaganda. So how can the government focus on the best media, the best promotion? Actually, because we are having a massive communication, social communications of technology here. So, and because the particular communication, the particular security sectors of the government, they should also have a very careful system. They must have a very good observation, and they have to follow, because the lies, the individual who produces lies during the pandemic, this is very important to change the people's opinions, but here we have to follow up and to observe accurately, to observe, and how to make the information secret, and how to make it very secret media or secret information. So, and when we use the internet or the social communication, we have to be very careful about it. And the last question here. How can the knowledge for all? The last question. Do you think the whole community, do you think all the international community concurred or defeated this crisis? Do you think, and there are many countries, they don't have infrastructures to defeat or to challenge or to face. How can we evaluate this kind of situation? And actually, for example, distance learning has been powerfully succeeded, but sometimes there is this disconnections between the school and the students, and I think many countries or some countries who don't have the infrastructure or who don't have the plan, educational plan for the future, or to save some crisis like here, they will be the victims. They will be the victims. And after the pandemic finished, then we have to evaluate, to assess the situations, the performance of the entities, the schools, then we have to go forward. Thank you very much, Doctor. In fact, we have to finalize this session. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We hope that we come back again to talk to you again. And thank you. Thank you. We are very thankful to Rashid and Jibril for the simultaneous translation. And we also will move to the professional and vocational training. And about the certificate, you are going to get them through the networking and from the website, or you are going to receive them by email. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the followers and the listeners, for all the audience, for the organizers. Thank you very much. Bye.